Hey guys, Christoph the Polish Gigant. Happy May the 4th. I would even say that, not so happy May the 4th because I'm reviewing Tales of the Empire, which, spoiler, was not good. It was so disappointing, disappointing. It's like, what could I expect from Star Wars at this point? And I've been saying, Star Wars is actually still pretty good when it comes to their animated projects, but as Tales of the Empire just proved to me, it probably won't last long anyway, so I should be thankful for Season 3 that the Bad Batch isn't getting any more seasons at this point, because as Tales of the Empire just proved to me, it seems like also the number of good Star Wars projects days are numbered anyway, as Tales of the Empire proved to me, because again, I was so disappointed in the show. First, I would say that I was not particularly interested in the first storyline of Morgan Elsbeth anyway, besides Grand Admiral Thrawn, but even he barely does anything there, and like Morgan Elsbeth, I was not interested in her story at all, especially with how terrible she was in Ahsoka, and especially that after season 3 of The Mandalorian I stopped completely caring, even though the episode with her and Ahsoka was actually my favorite originally in The Mandalorian, but after season 3 of The Mandalorian and especially the Ahsoka, I completely stopped caring about the character one bit. And her episodes were all so boring, we'll get to that later. And then the next 3 episodes, which were episodes about Barriss Offee and what happened to her after Order 66. And I admit I was far more interested in those episodes, but they were also very disappointing, and there was so much political messaging too, although I won't get into that. But first, let's talk about the first 3 episodes, which were with Morgan Elsbeth. And as I said, they were just so boring. Like, the first thing is how the Night Sisters were being slaughtered by General Grievous, something we already seen in the Clone Wars, although now from her point of view, and also it's clear they made her tragic, which is another problem with so many villains that Hollywood is doing now. Why does every villain have to be tragic, like? And then the next episode is already her working for the Empire, and then how she meets Grand Admiral Thrawn and Rook and Pelion, and actually they were probably the best parts of those story, except that they almost didn't do anything. Like Rook, apparently I heard he was so powerful in the original Hero of the Empire Timothy Zahn's book that I haven't read, but here, he got so easily bested by Morgan Elsbeth, what? And Thrawn admittedly looked pretty cool, like the way it was dark and his red eyes glowing in the dark, and so yes, Thrawn admittedly looked pretty awesome, but he just stood there and recruited Morgan Elsbeth, he also almost didn't really do anything. Again, he looked really awesome, much better than he looked in live action, where he looked more like a bigger version of Thrawn, but here he actually looked really awesome, and the type of Thrawn I would want, except that again, action-wise he almost didn't do anything, and he was literally just there for few minutes. And then the last episode of Morgan Elsbeth was so boring, and I was even wondering okay, why do I care about that story? Yep, the episodes of Morgan Elsbeth were just so boring, and even the best parts, Thrawn was so underused, and then Rook, another best part, was on the other hand so butchered, from both Rebels and the original book. And then we are now on to Barriss Offee episodes, which I was really hoping would actually be better, but were they actually better? Can't really say that either. The first episode, admittedly, with Barriss Offee was actually decent. It was basically she was being recruited to become one of the Empire's Inquisitors, and actually to see how Inquisitors are being recruited, that admittedly was actually pretty interesting. And then Darth Vader made an appearance, another thing I was really excited for, but spoiler alert, that's his single appearance in the entire show. That's right. He probably even made more appearances in the trailer than he did in the actual show. That's right, like, we've all been excited to see Darth Vader, I'm sure, but literally the scene from the trailer is like his only single scene in the entire show, although probably even in the trailer you could make an argument there is more of Vader than there is here at all in Tales of the Empire. And then the next 2 episodes is Barriss Offee with another Inquisitor just doing evil missions for the Empire, and then Barriss Offee as predictably redeeming herself and becoming good again. And then by the very last episode I felt so underwhelmed, like literally nothing really happened. It left me wanting so much more, although it's not like I could have expected from Disney Star Wars at this point. Tales of the Empire was so disappointing that I'm not even wearing my Star Wars shirt that I wore for the finale of The Bad Batch. Can you imagine? It's May the 4th, but the show disappointed me so much that I chose even not to wear my Star Wars shirt for this video. Overall, Tales of the Empire was so disappointing. Tales of the Jedi was so much better. And honestly, like, why do they even have to tell a tale of a character that I don't think anyone cares about at this point? Like, Morgan Elsbeth? Like, why couldn't they maybe just tell instead a story of Grand Admiral Thrawn and Rook and maybe adapt some parts of Heir to the Empire? I guess maybe not post Return of the Jedi, even though I've been hearing from fans that apparently those are actually the best parts about Grand Admiral Thrawn, but maybe at least adapt how he was recruited into Empire or something like that, like. Because literally Grand Admiral Thrawn and Rook were really the best parts of the entire show, and yet they almost barely do anything. They're just like for a single scene, which is likely the best scene in the entire show. And then, I admit, while I was very curious to see what's going on with Barriss Offee, like, why couldn't they give her a better story? Like, again, the first episode was actually pretty decent, but then the next 2 were like, okay. It almost feels like they basically was just nothing for the sake of, because fans have been asking for where is Barriss Offee. It feels like David Filoni basically said, you wanna know where is she? There you go. And that's pretty much it. This is literally what episodes of Barriss Offee felt like. And Tales of the Empire set has so many interesting potentials, like. But overall, Tales of the Empire, disappointing. And if they plan on continue doing those various tales of different things of Star Wars, can't say I'm excited anymore at this point. Maybe they'll impress me in the future, but I more and more doubt it. And I've been saying that Star Wars is pretty good when it comes to its animated projects, but seems even days of good animated projects are numbered at this point. So again, I probably should be thankful for that The Bad Batch is not coming for another season at this point, or else they would butcher it. But guys, here are my honest thoughts on Tales of the Empire, and press the like button. Please subscribe to this channel, and I will talk to you soon in another video. Talk to you soon. Bye!